I got an officer here. I got the videotape. But what I'm saying is this. I know they're not, but they stole the vehicles. The police, and not even that they steal them. Tacoma Park.
000 is recording. Recording started.
They can bring all the, huh? I understand. That's what I understand. But somebody's got to be over these towns, man. You know. But the problem is this: my 8 cars, they customers' cars, have been moved to Gaithersburg, and Montgomery County has them. Okay. But they're not abandoned. I have the registration. I have control of these vehicles. I know it's not your fault, but somebody's got to overlook these mugs because they're doing what they want to do. All I want to do is make a police report that these vehicles were stolen.
But they would see.
Sir, you can't see something on private property and not have probable cause or a search warrant. I'm just saying.
Can we start from the beginning, sir? I'm Officer Fields.
You have a credit, sir?
Sorry?
You have a credit?
Do I have a credit?
Yeah.
What do you mean credit?
Business cards.
I don't
If
have.
you-
I'm
okay.
ready to go to my car real
Okay,
quick.
what's your badge name? I'm recording.
3115.
Okay.
That's fine. You
Your
can
name,
record
sir?
it too. Sanchez 3319.
Okay. Your name, ma'am?
Officer Zoe, 3109.
You a detective?
No, ma'am.
Damn, I know I don't look like. Okay, go ahead, man. I ain't gonna get on that.
So your cars got towed? Is
Look,
that what I
on the
understand?
28th, I have a lease on 6530 New Hampshire Avenue. I'm a mechanic from Miami. I leased that spot back there.
Sure.
25 brass from Tacoma Park came and told me I needed to get off the property. They were evicting me. Okay? There's a protocol to get evicted.
Sure.
I buy property, so I know that.
Right.
I didn't get any protocol. I say, wait a minute. I got people's vehicles here. I need to, if I'm gonna leave, which I could, and then sue y'all later, I'll leave. But I got to get these people their cars back. They told me no. I say, well, then I ain't leaving. Then you lock me up. They locked me up for trespassing, and they removed every last one of the vehicles off the property. Then when the judge threw the whole bull out, I go back over there, and I asked them at the police station, which I record everything. I asked them, where did you take my vehicles? The dispatcher told me the lieutenant and the captain said not to give you told the dispatcher not to give me that information. So I had the owner call and con them into giving him the information of who the tow truck people was. I went to see the tow truck people. They told me all that they have to do is get the chief of police of Tacoma Park to call us, and we'll release them, and you can get a tow truck there. And they refused to do that. Yeah. But in the meantime, it's 8 people's cars who are upset with me that now their cars are getting ready to be auctioned off in Gaithersburg. And these are not Hondas or whatever. They're expensive cars.
I understand your frustration.
Now, I'm not frustrated. It's that wait a minute, let me rephrase that. My frustration is that there's nobody over them. They can do what they want to do. Who's over these little towns of security guards? Because they're not polices.
Right. So like Detective Wade was telling you, it's the federal government's over there.
I understand it.
Contact the FBI and file a complaint against them.
I intend to. I've already talked to Brian Foster's office, and they pointed me to, and I've already called them, and I called the governor's office.
Sure.
But the problem is, I can't pay. I'm not going to pay for these Mercedes-Benz, Infinities, and stuff like that. If they were illegally towed off of private property, sir, they didn't have a warrant. They didn't have a warrant. They didn't have probable cause. And now Tacoma Park, them saying the owner is the one they called. So I called the owner. He said he didn't call anybody.
Did they evict you from there? Is that
I never.
what paperwork did they show you?
No, they came the 28th officer
Right.
and told me
Last month, right?
April and told me to get off the property. And I said, no, you can't. That's not how it works. You got to give me documentation.
Sure.
You want me off the property, and if I refuse, then you go to the courts, and we have a hearing, And then if the judge, yeah, none of that took place.
Do you mind if I step in?
Go ahead, sir. I appreciate
I
it.
just want to look up the call.
Yeah,
I have more information.
I talked to Montgomery County in Rockville yesterday,
Yeah.
and they gave me a call on them and all that. They were there when I videotaped it. I'm just saying somebody got to be over these little towns, man, because they're doing what they want to do. You don't go to people's property and steal it like that.
What was the address of the incident?
6530 New Hampshire Avenue. Here, I'll even show you where I went into the police station and what they told me. I have a YouTube channel, and this is what this is all about, because I'm showing the corruption. They had a sergeant assault me, and then he arrested me. I went to court, and they threw it out, and they wanted to charge him. But they fired him, and here we are again, doing the same bull again. And I'm not upset with y'all. Okay.
Let me run inside real quick.
All right, I want to show you. Yeah, go ahead.
Just to see what's going on, and we'll go from there, okay?
This is crazy that you have nobody over these little towns. They are in Montgomery County, and Montgomery County should oversee these little towns when crime is being committed. This has to change, Governor. You want the citizens to be responsible. I'm on the sidewalk. I left out of there. I wasn't recording out of respect to try to get some help. But this has got to stop. Somebody has to oversee these little towns of doing corruption. And I know you're looking at this chief of police of Tacoma Park. I'm going to press this issue. There should be an internal affairs or an organization overseeing these towns, in these states, I mean. Because this clearly shows the corruption that is taking place under these little security guard town police they got. And no, I'm not upset. I just raised my voice like that because this is foolishness. If I was to go and steal 8 vehicles, I guarantee you, grand theft auto, I would have police on me so quick. But there are laws and rules to follow, and you can see in this whole incident, no rules were followed, no laws was followed. And now everybody want to claim they never called the police. Then they're gonna bring the police out. See what they do? They bring them out on me, but they won't go down there and get the people who stole the vehicles. They even bring the chopper out. Shit is fucking crazy, man. Or they gonna try to blow me off with this shit. That's the officer there. Watch they try to blow me off like, oh, they can't, like the guy inside. He said, oh, we can't do nothing about that. That's the, you know. As you saw, they damaged They illegal searched my vehicle. They damaged my vehicle. They broke into my vehicle. And nobody in law enforcement can do anything about it. But once you take the law into your own hand, then it becomes a problem. And this is what needs to stop. We should have fair and equal rights to the law. This is the 3rd District Police Station. And all I want is a report made of the theft of 8 vehicles at 6530 New Hampshire Avenue by law enforcement. Oh, they ain't law enforcement. By security guards of Tacoma Park. Because they don't know the law. To evict somebody, you must first give them written notice that you're evicting them. Then, if they refuse to leave, you go to the courts and have the judge have a meeting. And then if the judge agrees, he makes the decision. And gives you so many days to vacate the property. As you saw, that did not happen.
Alright, so I looked at the call. There's not a lot of information on there.
Yeah.
Other than them calling for the tow trucks and all that stuff.
You're saying that Tacoma Park called.
Correct, yeah, because that's the 60. This is.
As you hear, the officer says Tacoma Park called. Tacoma Park say they didn't call.
Well, it's their unit. Like I said,
Yeah, I know.
The 6300 block of New Hampshire Avenue is completely outside of Maryland, or I'm sorry, Montgomery County. So that's Tacoma Park. And the call.
No, but Tacoma Park is in Montgomery County.
No, I'm saying outside of Montgomery County Police.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's their jurisdiction for all I'm aware about.
I believe me when I understand what you're saying, but what I'm saying is, so somebody has to be over these little
I
towns.
understand.
And because this is the second incident. First I get in an argument and a fight with a sergeant, and then I get arrested. Now they stole the property, okay? And who's over them? Nobody. Nobody. I just went down there the other day. I videotape everything. And she's videotaping me. But somebody's got, it's Montgomery County. I don't care if they have their little town. There should be a police law enforcement agency over them. And since it's in your county, you should be over them. But as I'm going to talk to the governor as soon as they call me back. Somebody's got to do something, because I'm not paying for 8 vehicles for something that somebody stole from me. And they stole them from me. Because you know the law. You just can't go take stuff without a court order.
Makes sense.
And that's what they did.
So again, I'm just a dumb patrol officer. I got higher up, so you can talk to, and they might be able to lead you.
Is they coming out?
I don't know if they're in the office or I think they're in a meeting. But I can give you the phone number. You can call them up. Either one of the lieutenants or the commander.
Okay.
For this station specifically, and he might be able to lead you towards the right direction.
Well, I know y'all ain't gonna be able, because it's something higher up than y'all district, like up in Annapolis.
So you can call the chief's office if I don't know if you tried that already.
Not this chief.
knows.
Not
So
this.
there's no chief in here. This is just a commander.
So it's still up at the Research Boulevard up there in Gaithersburg?
Yeah, by what's the name of the street? Edison Park Drive.
Yeah, it's still at the same place.
That's the chief's office.
Okay.
He said the higher as you go up here is the commander, but he's just the commander of the station.
But what I'm saying, officer,
Yes, sir.
all I want to do is make a report, because by law, they didn't follow the law.
Right.
So they should be held accountable.
Sure.
Somebody I should be able to talk to hold them accountable, not them.
Right.
Like I say, that's like me being raped by them and going back. You're telling me to go back to them. I need to go to somebody outside of their jurisdiction to talk to and file a complaint.
Right. So they did write a report for that incident.
Yeah, I know. I requested all that yesterday, and the lieutenant videotaping me and making excuses like they did with the assault. I had to go all the way to Annapolis to get my freedom of information from the governor, and to force them to turn all this stuff over to me. But in the meantime, I got 8 people's vehicles getting ready to be auctioned off. And that's my biggest thing, to put a stop to that.
Sure.
Because Mercedes, Audis, motorcycles, people are upset with me, and it's not my fault.
Now, have you contacted N.O.J?
I talked to her.
To see if you can put that to the side.
Well, that's what I tried to do, but I talked to her, but I'm assuming she called Tacoma Park and they told them the same thing. The owner called and had them towed. But I got texts and I've spoken to the owner. He said he didn't call. And just like you just said, Tacoma Park called. Tacoma Park say they didn't call the tow trucks. The owner did. So now I'm getting the runaround.
What's the name of the owner?
Mr. Raheem.
And that's who you leased the spot from.
Yeah, and Vance, his name is Evans. He's from Wisconsin. He lives in Wisconsin. So I've been there 3 years. Nobody ever told me to exit the property or we had a problem until the 28th when all of them came, 25 police officers, and locked me up.
What was the name again?
Michael.
Give me a second. Let me.
All right. And now we got to go down to the chief of police. Somebody has to do something. I hope the governor hurry up and call me back. You know, there has to be some kind of accountability in this state and across the state of not allowing anybody to wear that badge and uniform. And there has to be somebody over these people outside of law enforcement to govern them. Then when I go in here, the guy talking about, well, we don't have anything to do with it. I don't want to get you no supervisor. Come on, man. If a citizen asks for a supervisor should come out. And then all of them want to run out here. You know, when I pull the camera out and start recording the building, they all running out here now. But I guarantee you, if I was to go down there and be violent to these tow truck people to get my vehicles back, they would call the police. And I will be arrested. And I ain't going through that. I'm not going through that. And that's probably what Tacoma Park want me to do. But I'm going to do it the legal way. And that means filing lawsuits. You know, one of the gentlemen called me today highly upset about the four-wheeler. I understand his frustration, but it ain't on me. I didn't have him towed. They did this out of spite. And all the chief has to do is call the chief of police of Tacoma Park. All he has to do is call these tow companies and tell them to release those vehicles so I can get them back to the owner. And he will not do that. And so therefore, his immunity is gone. The town's community is gone. This is done out of spite. You will see when I went to the police station, the dispatcher even told me, the lieutenant and the captain told them not to give me any information to where these vehicles are. And by law, the tow company is supposed to notify the VIN numbers of the vehicles, that they have the vehicles so they can come and pay to get them out. That did not happen. This is a corrupt system of law. There should be someone over these little towns' police department, because they are not real police officers. They do not know the law. In the state of Maryland, the sheriff is the agency that evicts people. And they get their orders from the court. But this order came from the chief of police, and now he's backpedaling. You will see him there. He's backpedaling that he never called the tow company. He said the owner called it. Now you heard the officer say the chief called. Or Tacoma Park called. And now they're talking about towing the vehicles. Officer, is it possible I give you my number and have the chief call me or whatever? Because what I'm trying to do is somebody call that abandoned people thing and hold those vehicles. She said until June the 10th. But
That's when they go to auction.
she said that's when they go to auction. But this is an issue. They didn't follow the law. And if you don't follow the law, the poison tree, everything that follows is illegal. You didn't evict me. You did this out. No court gave me anything. They didn't give me anything in writing.
Right.
You just locked me up and took the vehicles after I'm down in 7 locks.
Okay. So I try to look up the report myself. For whatever reason, I can't.
But the lady told me that you all guys can't do it.
Okay.
So they know what they're doing.
That's what I tried to do, and I couldn't do that.
Yeah, they know what they're doing.
Right. So the next thing is what I wrote down here is the office, the phone number for the office of the chief.
Okay, I'll call him
So
then.
you can contact him and see if he can lead you the right direction. Because I don't know if I can give you those answers. I don't know as far as like other departments, whether they're dealing directly with them, who do you really file a complaint with? You know what I mean? Because we have our internal affairs, but that's just for Montgomery County Police.
That's what I'm saying. Somebody needs to have a turn up from Montgomery County.
Sure.
There need to be a internal affairs over these little towns because they're not police officers, sir. They're not. And that's what I'm not mad with nobody here, but somebody's got to be over these little towns because they're not real police.
Right.
I don't feel like I have to have 2 incidents where they arrested me 3 times on the property. Okay, until they found out that I was supposed to be there. Now here I am again, but this time I got other people's stuff.
Trying to get your stuff, right?
But Montgomery County should be over these little towns if you in your county. And that's what I'm peed off about because everybody's pointing fingers at everybody and nobody wants to do nothing. In the meantime, I got over almost $1 million worth of vehicles that's about to be auctioned off and I ain't got no $1 million.
Right.
Yeah, Mercedes-Benz, Audis, these are expensive cars.
I believe it.
Motorcycles,
Sure.
and the people are mad with me. I'm saying I went to jail.
Yeah. I got
You know,
So that's the best I can do. Call them up. If you still have the abandoned auto phone number, I will call them again, but only speak to the supervisor up there.
yeah, matter of fact, I'm going there tomorrow.
Okay.
You know,
Sergeant McDaniel is the supervisor up there.
okay,
And I can write that
McDaniel, yeah,
down.
please do.
Yes, sir.
Please see, that's who I need to talk to. All I want is these vehicles back, man. You arrested me, I'll deal with that in court. But give these people their vehicles back. So that'll be off my back.
So Sergeant, excuse my handwriting. It's
No problem.
McDannel.
Okay.
Got it now. And that's
You don't know their telephone number offhand?
I can go run inside real quick and get it for you.
Okay, if you don't mind. I'll wait.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Shit is fucking crazy when there's nobody over these terrorist little towns. And as you see, citizens, this shit is off the chain. They can go, you need a search warrant to go into somebody's property. They came onto the property, they brought the owner, who's a spineless piece of shit. But then they broke into my van and destroyed it inside, and I showed you that. They said that I didn't have the titles to the vehicles. I showed you that. But you gotta go through a court proceedings to evict somebody, and that didn't happen. And the fruit of the poison tree is a legal ramification when you don't follow the law. And you will hear me say, give me enough time to get these people their vehicles back, and I'll be gladly to get off the property. They didn't do that. 2 minutes later, I was in handcuffs being charged with trespassing. And then they towed the vehicles. And as you saw on the video, the lieutenant talking about you don't have the title to those vehicles. And I showed you when I went back to the tow yard, the titles to every vehicle. And all you had to do was run the VIN number, contact the people who's on the VIN number, and they would tell you that one, it was their vehicle, and two, they sold the vehicle to me. And this is not on public space, this is on private property, and you need a warrant or just cause to go on there. And the owner who says he didn't call, it's not just cause if there's a lease agreement, or even if you squatted there for a certain amount of time, you still have to go through the process of evicting the person off the property. And none of that happened. And this clown who runs the police department, all he has to do is call these tow people and tell them to release these vehicles. Or the owners or the other lessee have to call them and tell them to release these vehicles. But out of spite, he's not doing that.
All right, sir. There you go.
All right, I
Go down
appreciate
to the two numbers for you. All right, the Office of the Chief, and then AVS, which is a man vehicle section, and then ask to speak to Sergeant McDowell. Okay.
Okay, I appreciate it, man. And
No
please
problem.
tell them in there, I'm not upset with them.
No,
It's just
I
that somebody got to be over these people, man.
I understand.
They're doing what they want to do.
Right.
What if they kill me and then nobody's going to investigate that but them?
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
I got you. Well, I hope these gives you the answer, man.
Yeah, but next I'm going down to Greenbelt also tomorrow to get paperwork. And I hate to sue Montgomery County for derelict of duty, but thank you, sir. I appreciate it. And tell them I'm not upset with them. All right, this is the 3rd District Police Department. The officer, this is all the information. That's the Chief of Police of Montgomery County, the supervisor for the abandoned vehicles where they're taking them. This is crazy. What is taking place in this state, that nobody is supervising these little towns who don't know the law. Stay tuned. We're on our way up the Greenbelt to pick up the civil papers from the federal courthouse to file this lawsuit against the owner, the lessee, and Tacoma Park, because they've lost their immunity. Stand by.